New details at a hearing for former head of the FBI, James Comey, who is charged with lying to and obstructing Congress. His lawyers argue that the case should be dismissed, raising questions about the actual indictment and saying the DOJ is carrying out President Trump's political revenge in what they are calling a vindictive prosecution. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey is live for us outside of the Virginia courthouse where this is all happening. Tom, the hearing is wrapped up. What happened inside that courtroom?
Hey, Nicole, like you said, this hearing all took place inside this courthouse behind me, this federal courthouse in Northern Virginia. The judge overseeing this case today against former FBI Director James Comey really pressing the prosecution in particular during the proceedings, which led to lead prosecutor Lindsey Halligan saying that the whole grand jury did not see the final indictment. Only at least one member, I think, saw the indictment, she said. So, again, that's leading to some questions right now. And on the other side of this, you had the defense team for the former FBI director hoping that all the charges would be dismissed. And like you said, they're calling this vindictive prosecution. And they point to Truth Social posts like the one we're going to show you here from President Donald Trump that he posted back in September, where President Trump wrote to Attorney General Pam Bondi, bringing up Comey and others, writing, quote, "They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done." And adding, quote, "We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now." Again, the defense says that's a sign that this was really, a target of President Trump and that this was a vindictive prosecution. Our producer who sat inside during this hearing saying that Comey sat silently and very, quietly at the desk with his legal team during the proceedings today. But again, the judge really pressing the prosecution in particular, and very interesting timing with all this because just earlier this week, there was a judge that really tore into the prosecution, even pointing to possible misconduct by former White House aide and now acting U.S. Attorney Lindsey Halligan, who's leading this case, as I said. The judge writing, quote, "The record points to a disturbing pattern of profound investigative missteps that led to an FBI agent and a prosecutor to potentially undermine the integrity of the grand jury proceeding." And in a 24-page order, Nicole, the judge listed almost a dozen findings of possible misconduct, including the prosecution's, quote, "cavalier attitude towards Comey's legal rights, as well as possible errors when presenting evidence and instructing grand jurors." The judge saying these points lead to a, quote, "reasonable basis for Comey's team to challenge the whole case." And again, a recap for our viewers at home, Comey faces charges of making a false statement to Congress and obstruction of justice. And it all stems from testimony he gave back in 2020 in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee about the FBI's handling of the investigation into alleged Russian collusion with the Trump campaign during the 2016 presidential election. Prosecutors claim Comey lied about authorizing leaks to reporters, but Comey insists he did not. So, again, that hearing happening earlier today, and we expect the decision will not be coming down today, but it could come down the next few days or weeks. Nicole?
All right, so Tom, what has Comey said in all of this? What has been his response?
Yeah, so the biggest part, at least when the defense comes with this, and the former FBI Director James Comey, they're saying, Comey was a political opponent of President Trump, and he's really going after them because of those differences. This is a vindictive prosecution, like I said. So they're really leaning into that argument with all this. Comey has claimed President Trump has gone after him, like I said, for being a political opponent, and after he criticized the president and also led the investigation into alleged Russian election interference. Comey has pleaded not guilty in this case and maintains his innocence. And here's the thing, Nicole, if this defense team pulls this off and they win this dismissal case, that would lead to those charges, getting rid of those charges currently facing the former FBI director. Nicole?
All right, Tom Dempsey live for us there in Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.